Hi Gemini, welcome to September. This is Teresa from TarotbyT.com, and I'm getting ready to do your love TarotScope for September. And before I do that, let me ring in the bells, ring in the angels. May only the highest forces be present at this reading to ensure that the truth be told. And I want to say thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for all your comments and support, and thank you for liking the videos. I really appreciate everyone's comments, and I'm glad that these readings are helping people, so that makes it all worthwhile. So thank you, I really appreciate it. So let's see what's going on for the month of September for Gemini. Now this is a love reading, but it could also be career depending on what comes up, because the tarot will tell you what you need to know, regardless of what you ask. So, let's see. What does Gemini need to know for the month of September? What does Gemini need to know for the month of September? What does Gemini need to know for the month of September? Okay, let's see. I was going to use a different deck tonight and I couldn't find it. So we're back to the old, same old Morgan Greer. 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Wands. 3 of Cups. 6 of Swords. The Magician. The 8 of Wands. The 7 of Pentacles. The 7 of Wands. The Page of Swords, the Page of Wands. Interesting. Okay. So, with the 9s, the reading starts out with the 9 of Pentacles crossed by the 9 of Wands. The 9 of Pentacles, you're in a situation where if you're working, you might be thinking about starting a business. Or you want to work in a career where you don't have a lot of supervision. You've been in a position where you're basically your own boss in a way, where they tell you, here, you just take this job and run with it. And so financially, you're not doing too bad. The 9 of Pentacles is someone who's enjoying the material things of life, but sometimes they may feel lonely. They may feel like, well, okay, so I've got all this money and I'm okay financially. I'm not really worried about finances, but I really wish I had someone to share my life with. So you might be feeling a little bit lonely, like it's not enough to just make money. I want to have someone that I can share my life with. And with the 9 of Wands here, you might be working on a goal. Maybe you're wanting to start a business. Maybe you may have a job and then you've been working on the side to try and build this business. Or if you do have a business, you've been working toward a goal for a long time. With the 9 of Wands, it's like you're really getting tired of the work. It's like, I've been struggling for a long time. The 9 of Wands, though, the message of the 9 of Wands is don't give up. You're almost at the end of the cycle. You're nearing your goal, and a lot of times people quit just before they succeed. They go, oh, I just can't take anymore, I'm not getting anywhere, and then they quit. But if they had only, tried a little bit longer, they might have saw some real success. So this is a card that says don't quit, don't give up, even though you've been struggling for a while and you feel like you're not getting anywhere. Things are changing in September. I think you're going to see a difference in September. It also means, the 9 of Wands, that you may have to defend yourself in some way. You might have to stand up for yourself and defend your point of view, or defend your an idea that you really care about, that you're really attached to. It could be that a problem that you thought you had solved in the past comes back to be revisited. It could be a relationship that comes back and you have to deal with it again. whatever it is, you have these nines. You're kind of coming to the end of a cycle. You've been working a long time toward a goal, and you're going to start to see some results. The Three of Cups is in your past, so you might be working with a group. This is like group energy. It's also a card of birth or fruition, celebration. So you could have been celebrating your success recently. You could have been celebrating the birth of a child. Or it could just be a party or an engagement or something, that you're planning something. You're planning you're enjoying time with friends. You have you have a support network around you. Three of Cups is usually, you have a lot of support. And it also means fruition. It means birth. It means seeing results. So you've experienced some kind of success in the past where there was cause for celebration. And also with the Six of Swords, this is also in the past. You may have come through a difficult time and you're moving towards something where there's a lot more harmony. You're moving towards a more harmonious situation. So you're navigating a difficult time. You might have had to have some difficult conversations in the past. You might have gotten into a tight spot where communication was really important and you had to really navigate the situation and choose your words carefully to get out of it. But you're doing okay. I mean, Gemini, you are the communication king and queen. So if anybody can talk themselves into or out of something, it's a Gemini. You have the gift of communication. That's your strength. So with the Six of Swords, it usually means moving away from difficulty, moving towards something that's more harmonious. Sometimes it could even mean a physical move where you change locations or you journey over water, so you're crossing water. But if it doesn't mean that literally, then it just means metaphorically that you're moving out of a tough time and moving to, like if you were going through a period of arguing within a relationship, you're kind of moving away from that and that's not touching you as much. So the conflict is dying down, or you've learned how to communicate to create peace in the situation, to create more harmony. So it's not as volatile. And so this is an influence that is fading. Coming up, you have the Magician. Now this is great for your future. You have the Magician and the Eight of Wands. The Magician is basically a good communicator. The Magician has all the tools that he needs for success, he or she. You just have to believe in yourself. You have to use the power of thought and the power of communication to achieve success. And you have it. You have that talent. So it could be that you're involved in something that involves writing or the media or communication in some way, journalism. If you're dealing with a person, this person has is very intelligent, has a good command of the language. And that could also be you. So, and the Eight of Wands shows doors opening up career-wise. I'm seeing a lot of wands in this reading, so I think this is more of a career reading. But if there is a love interest, you're going to find out about it in September. Because the Eight of Wands can mean the arrows of love, communication, that you might hear. You might meet someone and find, if you're not dating anyone, you might meet someone and feelings might just come up suddenly and you might find like, hey, I really like this person. Or I'm feeling something for this person. So, you might have a crush on somebody, or you might you might be infatuated in September. Or you might be like, wow, I really like this person. And the person would be a good communicator. Someone that you could really have conversations with, and that you would love that, Geminis love to talk. They love being around someone that they can talk to. That's what you really want in a mate. More than anything, you want someone you can talk to. Someone that you could share stories and just communicate information and learn. Geminis love to learn. They like having the scoop too. They make great reporters. If it's a love relationship, it could be that feelings just pop up suddenly. If it's a career situation, because the wands often relate to career matters, you might have some kind of opportunity that comes up in September to grow. And it might be that you get a job offer or something, and you have to take it and make a decision really quickly, and they want you to start right away. It's like fast energy, and you might be thinking, oh my God, this is happening too fast. I need time to think. I don't know. So things are going to be happening in September. I think you're in a good place. You have the Seven of Pentacles here. So you've planted some seeds. This is a card of somebody planting seeds and waiting to see if they're going to grow. So it could be that you started a relationship and you're not sure, okay, is this going to go anywhere? Are we going to date? Or is it going to move on to the next level? What's going to come out of this? Or it could be a career situation where you're working towards a goal and you want to know, am I going to see some success? And you're having some doubts because this is in your negative thinking sector. So you might be having some doubts about seeing the results of your efforts. And that's why in this card you're thinking about maybe giving up. Like, I don't know. There might be like a problem that comes back to deal with and you're thinking, oh man, another problem, But just hang in there and you'll get there. Don't give up and don't quit, because I think you're going to be hearing some good news. Here you have the Seven of Wands. So this is your environment. If you're talking about if you're asking about if in a love relationship, you've been setting some boundaries, and the person that you're dealing with is they might be testing those boundaries. But you have the upper hand, and you have the ability to overcome any obstacles. So whether it's a career situation where you're not fighting, but maybe competing at work, or feeling that there are obstacles at work to get where you want to go. If there's a position that you're trying to get and you feel like there's competition, you have the upper hand. You have the skills, so don't worry about that. You just need to stand your ground. There might be a situation where you have to voice your opinion, and it may not be a favorable one. And so you might have to deal with some flack at the office where like everybody's wanting to do this, but you see a better way of doing things. You want to do things this way, they want to do things that way. So you might have to fight for what you believe in September, or stand your ground. And that could be career or relationship. Someone might be pushing your buttons in a relationship issue where you say, I want to do things this way, and they're like, I want to do things that way. So you're going to have to stand up for yourself in September. Don't let them push you around. Stand your ground and fight for what you believe in, fight for what you want. You have the Page of Swords here in the hopes and wishes sector. So the Page of Swords could mean several things. On the one hand, if you're wanting something, if something comes up, the page means that you really have to look very deeply or very carefully at the situation. So it could be a situation with contracts, so read the fine print. Or it could be a situation where you may not have all the facts, or if you're on a job interview, someone might be checking into you, because this is a card of spying. So they might be checking all your references. It might be an important position where they're really checking everyone out. I wouldn't worry too much about it, because I think you're in a good position and you have a lot of talent. And with the Page of Wands here at the end, I think you're going to hear some good news. If it involves a relationship, there could be some gossip around this relationship. People are gossiping. Because the page could be spying or gossiping. Someone that might come to you and they just want you, and they're saying, just doing small talk, but they're really fishing for information. They're trying to get the scoop from you. So you may be careful about who you talk to and what you say. Be careful in communication, because not everyone is on your side. So you have to be careful what you say and how you say it. But for the most part, I mean, I wouldn't worry too much because you have a lot of good cards here. But just watch out for gossip. That's all I'm saying. Watch out for who you talk to. Because someone might, they might be carrying some tales. Or someone might be watching you and your behavior at work or in a relationship. So if you're in a relationship, you need to really check into the person, make sure they're for real. If you're getting an offer in a job situation, like maybe you've applied for a new job and you might get some kind of offer, just make sure that everything that they're promising, they're going to deliver. Just read the fine print, especially September, because Mercury's going to be retrograde. If you get a job offer in September, I would try, if you can, to hold off until October before accepting, or at least the end of September, because it's not good to take a job when Mercury's retrograde. Because trust me, I've done it, and it's a disaster. I mean, if you're out of work and you need the work, fine, take it. But just make sure you check everything, because there's all kinds of communication snafus or mishaps when Mercury goes retrograde. And with these eclipses, you want to make sure you get everything down in writing. You want to make sure you read the fine print. That's all I'm saying. But it sounds like you're going to get some career opportunity in September. Or if it's not career, definitely relationship. But whatever comes up, whatever offer comes up in September, you want to look carefully at it. Check into every detail. So you might, if you meet someone new, you might want to Google them or do a background check on them or something, just to make sure that they are who they say they are. And the same is true for any kind of career opportunity. You have good energy for that, but you want to check into the facts and you want to check into the details. So that's it for September, Gemini. You have some good news coming up, and you have some battles to fight, but you can win. So don't give up. And I hope you like this reading, and I will talk to you in October. Good luck in September, Gemini.